is on following Christ's example. We read in 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 21, "For to this you are called, because Christ also suffered for us, leaving us an example, that you should follow in his steps." Those steps are obedience, faith, love, and imitation. And so, if we are to be called followers of Christ, we must follow his example and go with him all the way. Let's pray.
Excuse me, there's something I'd like to say. Please, hear me out. I'm not drunk or crazy or anything. I just have some questions. I lost everything about 4 months ago. Ever since then, I've been wandering around looking for any kind of work I could find. And in all that time, I never got a word of sympathy or kindness from anyone. Until I met Pastor Maxwell a couple days ago.
Amen.
He said he was sorry that he couldn't help me. Now, I'm not trying to make anyone feel guilty, but I've just been wondering, what do you Christians mean when you say that you're following Jesus? Sing songs with words like, "I'll go with him all the way," and you put Bible verses on your office walls. Do you even know what you're saying? My daughter was a strong Christian girl, came to church all the time, but when she died, all I got was a card from the church saying how sorry they were. I was always told that helping people was what the church was there for. But when I was at my lowest and really needed some kind of hope to keep me going, all I got was a card. So I've been wondering, what do you Christians mean when you're saying that you're following Jesus? You say things like, "What would Jesus do?" and stuff. But what does that mean? Is it just having food banks and wishing people like me well? Why don't Christians ever actually practice what they preach? Why don't you show Jesus' love instead of just talking about it? What would Jesus do? I don't know. And I don't think you do either. Hey! What's with her?
Some homeless guy came into church and caused a scene. I keep trying to tell Virginia that he was just there asking for money, but she's being emotional about the whole thing.
See why I don't go to church?
I know, right? At first I thought it was a skit or something, but then he started talking.
He came asking for work. I kicked him out, threatened to call the cops.
Alex, you didn't know. It's not like you can give every bum a job.
I know, but the things he said.
What would Jesus do? I don't know. And I don't think you do either.
Morning, Rachel. Mrs. Winslow. So, what do you think Pastor Maxwell is planning for us this week? Do you think the mayor's going to come and carry the cross? You know, like the homeless guy last week?
You still think Pastor set that up?
You don't? Used to do random skits like that all the time in my old church.
Alright, Joe. Hi, Jasper. Hey, did you hear anything about what happened to that guy?
Oh, I'm sure once they sobered him up, he was fine. I just hope they didn't give him any money.
Grandma, I keep telling you, he wasn't asking for money.
Virginia, he was just a drunk homeless man from the rectangle. He probably didn't even know where he was when he passed out.
This is shaping up to be quite a mystery. Because it's in my book.
Well, I've got to get on stage. I'll take you to
Sure.
Are you sure you want to do this, Henry?
I'm sure. I've got to try.
Good luck.
Good morning. We're going to do things a little differently this morning, so have a seat, everyone. First, I'm sure you're all interested in what happened to the man who spoke to us last week. Unfortunately, he passed away Sunday afternoon. The doctor said he had heart problems and tuberculosis on top of that, so it was really a matter of time. The things he said and the questions that he asked caused me to stop and take stock in my Christian walk. I asked myself all week, do I truly know what it means to call myself a follower of Jesus? Last week I preached on 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 21. Christ also suffered for us, leading us an example that we should follow in his steps. Have I truly been following his example? Have I truly been following in his steps? No, don't do that. Because the answer is no. No, I haven't. When that homeless, wretched man, Jack Manning, came to the doors of this church, the initial thought that I had was to get rid of him as soon as I could. That is not what Jesus would have done. And as I thought about First Church of Raymond, I asked, do we as a body know what it means to follow in the steps of Jesus? To do as he would? I'm sorry, but I honestly don't know. So let's find out. I'm going to propose something radical here. If you are truly interested in learning what it means to follow in the steps of Jesus, I want you to join me in a pledge, if you will. A pledge to do nothing for an entire year without first asking yourself, what would Jesus do? When I'm finished talking, I'm going to go to the fellowship hall. I ask all of you to pray and consider what I've proposed. If you seriously want to join me in this pledge, then come to the fellowship hall when you've made your decision, and we'll talk about how we're going to go about this. If you aren't interested, and you feel that you don't need to do this, then you're dismissed.